in a hospital bed, lying here and wishing, hoping I would ever own one of these.
And how do you expect anyone to explain to a 5-year-old and her mother that they now can't have the advent calendar because I'm a horrible person if I don't give it to someone whose daughter's dead so that she can put it on her grave?
So today we are talking about PLouise, the brand, and something that happens every time around this time of year, Christmas, right? So the brand and page, for those of you who haven't heard of this brand before, we've already spoken about them a few times. They're a UK-based brand similar to the likes of Made by Mitchell, for example. So PLouise has been around since 2018 and went viral with their eyeshadow primer, the PLouise base, and has been since massively popular, especially on TikTok. Again, this brand has featured many times on my channel, but this is going to be a little bit different. They've become incredibly popular very fast through social media, starting with YouTube and now especially TikTok. And Paige herself, apparently, became like a makeup artist trainer from a council estate to where she is now. She's done incredibly well for herself. She worked her way up to be this multi-million-pound business, becoming an actual brand. They have this very strong connection with their clients. They even say on their website that one of their goals is to deepen their emotional connection with our customers. Remember that, because that is exactly what we are talking about in this video. But let's just talk about this brand quickly, right? The packaging itself is very controversial in a way that some people love it, some people don't like it, some people think it's childish. And listen, I'm down for childish packaging for brands if it is done well. I will buy anything with Hello Kitty on it. I will buy anything that's cute. Packaging could sell a product to me when it's done right and when it's done well. I have never purchased a PLouise product since it has been this kind of like pink vibes product. Brand, sorry, which is a very UK thing. A lot of the UK brands, if you look at them, makeup brands, are very same. It's like pink packaging, pink something. It's actually kind of tedious, but it does look cheap, and some people say it feels cheap, but I can understand why they have a younger audience and people might want to collect their packaging. I totally get it. The weird thing is, a lot of people may look at it and think, you know, it's quite obviously aimed at children, whereas I do think it is aimed at kids, but I do think millennials would very much like packaging. I just said myself, I'm a millennial, I love packaging. But also, I mean, it's very different to Paige's second brand, Fine. Which is this more simple, well, it's actually not simple. The packaging is I think the packaging off their foundation or their concealer really caught people's eye. It's very different. Fine gives that Skims vibe, whereas PLouise is giving Claire's. It's two very different demographics. So they do clearly know what they're doing with packaging and stuff like that. Although the packaging is toy-like, it's highly collectible, so I get it. But it has names like Bad Bitch Energy, Naked Ambitions, and Send Me Nudes. When they have a clearly younger audience, I spoke about this before when people were buying their daughters, their young children, flasks that said Bad Bitch on them. I'm like, you're 4. You're 4. The only thing bad about you is your spelling and handwriting. And this is actually a huge argument online whether or not PLouise is targeted towards kids, but since they endorse young creators like Lacey and have children's entertainers at their HQ, even if not solely aimed towards children, it's super clear that they know kids are at least a chunk of their demographic. And a lot of parents, you can see through their comment sections, buy their products for their children. And I mean, we can even talk about her price as well. She positions her brand as being affordable and being for people like her, she says. She has that literally baked into her brand identity, you know, that she has come from a place where maybe she wasn't so fortunate growing up. In terms of money, she says that a lot in interviews and content, that PLouise is for and accessible to those who aren't the most well off in terms of money. And really that would be an inspiration if the brand weren't clearly using it to their advantage. From an outside perspective, PLouise does seem affordable. They have constant sales on their TikTok, bundle deals and giveaways, but it isn't just to benefit their audience. Despite the sales just starting off on their random luxury price drops of £20 plus highlighters and £50 plus eyeshadow palettes, not really affordable. And it's almost like the brand drops those prices because it's almost like they weren't really ever initially going to sell those products at that price. It's so that when they first come out, they can have like a limited time discount in their lives to kind of pressure their fans into buying them, because when else would they get that good a deal? You know, it has to be now and it's live, and they do that often. And listen, it's a business tactic, whatever. Also, that they can do the exact same thing later on by putting stuff in like limited time bundles to dump off a ton of product for a little bit of profit, you know? So as a brand, PLouise positioned themselves as being affordable, accessible, and for the people like Paige. So again, meaning those who might be priced out of luxury brands, which is a great thing to do as a brand, and then have centered their whole entire way of selling around the fear of missing out, pressuring fans to buy things through limited time, huge discounts, and offering like dirt cheap entry level products so that some fans can feel like they can afford luxury. Obviously, it's fantastic for brand loyalty because everyone can have PLouise, but it's awfully seeming like the brand know exactly who buys their products and has pivoted their marketing in that way. It's almost predatory, you know? Okay, so let's talk about the calendar. They bring out an advent calendar every single year, and they're expensive for an advent calendar. It's not an affordable price. And honestly, from looking at reviews, it's a lot of shit and a lot of tat in their advent calendar. I do not believe that that advent calendar is worth anywhere near the price that they sell it for. And a lot of people who review it don't also. It does look like it's for kids. It's not at a very kid-friendly price point. You know, you would have to ask your parents for this £200+ advent calendar. We're talking pounds as in English money, not as in the weight. For those people who don't know foreign currency. You'll be surprised. It's controversial for a few reasons. The sheer amount of packaging and plastic, and for not having the best, highest quality product. But arguably, this is the most wanted advent calendar every single year. Now listen, I love an advent calendar. My favorite one is always the Space NK advent calendar here in the UK, which retails for about the same price. But within that advent calendar, you get full-size luxury products, full-size creme de la mer, full-size fleur, full-size Caudalie, full-size Tatcha. The products within that advent calendar exceed the value of what you pay for it. There is about £1,000 worth of product within that advent calendar. And let me tell you, that will set you up for the year ahead. A lot of people buy that advent calendar and beauty advent calendars in general because it sets them up for the year going forward. So that is a good value. You get what you pay for. Plus. And this advent calendar just contains a load of, I have to be real, what looks like drop-shipped crap. Drop-shipping, for those who don't know, is when you get something from AliExpress and you buy in bulk and you have it personalized, and then they, if I was the business, I would say I had my name put on this lip product, Robert Welsh lip balm. I don't have the stock, I don't make it, it's in somewhere else, some factory somewhere else, they customize it for me, and then when I receive an order, I tell them and they send it out to that person. That's drop shipping. I don't have to have stock, I don't have to have a huge budget to start a company because you pay as you go. Which I'm not claiming that's what they do, I'm just saying it looks crazy drop shipped. So going back to the whole wanting to be inclusive and accessible, is that price inclusive and accessible? I really do think they can lower the price of that advent calendar because there's no way in hell the stuff in that advent calendar is worth the price they pay for it. And it is kind of, to me in my eyes, it seems like they're preying on the fact that they have a super loyal fan base that people will pay to feel like they have supported a business that has pushed so hard to portray that they have been there and done the same for their customers. And for the fans that understand we can't afford something like that, that's okay, because PLouise has an in-house payment plan available to make sure that no one has an excuse not to buy this overpriced advent calendar. It's almost like they knew they would have to do it, as a lot of their customer base wouldn't be able to afford to buy this advent calendar outright, which again, for a brand that supposedly is for the people that might find other brands inaccessible, is kind of gross. We spoke about the brand, we spoke about their pricing, the advent calendar, but there is one thing I want to touch on around PLouise at the minute. Cult mentality, loyalty, and beggy comments. Listen, this is a point where I feel almost sorry for the brand because it gets to this time of year and they have to deal with all these comments. And listen, sometimes it's great to have a cult following, a cult-like following, because you know you have that dedication as a brand. PLouise even refer to their followers as their cult. And we know that PLouise as a brand knows exactly who they are marketing to. If they didn't, they wouldn't be as successful. Paige herself, as a face of a brand, has done really well to represent a huge group of people and what they would aspire to be. She took a lot of people's dream, going from nothing, or not nothing, but you know the saying, going from nothing to a successful brand owner, and made it feel tangible by speaking to her community, hosting meet and greets, listening to her fans, and promoting sales tactics that help make customers feel special. If there is one thing you can credit her for, it is how close of a relationship she has made her fans feel like they have with her. But the thing is, with linking your brand so closely to yourself and your personal story and weaponizing it to get sales, it ends up promoting some really strange parasocial behavior. So this creator, Little Miss Vodka on TikTok, she talks a lot about PLouise. Originally on the products themselves, eventually they started criticizing the culture of the brand after she started getting hundreds of comments from fans defending them, insulting her, and just behaving extremely strange. Now listen, I just want to say something. It is always baffling to me. I love some makeup brands. Like, I am huge fans of makeup brands. One thing I won't do, because I'm not a complete weirdo, is jump into someone's comment section if they were insulting that brand, defending them with my life. You can say whatever the fuck you want about a brand. That brand doesn't know it. Well, the brands do know I exist, ones I relate because I've worked with them. But say I didn't do social media, that brand doesn't know you exist. That brand doesn't care about you. So why are you defending them with your life? I find it really weird, and I find other people that do it really strange people. Just watch this.
PLouise, somebody seriously needs to do a study, like a psychologist, somebody, I don't know, science, anyone needs to do a study on the people that back up PLouise's makeup. And I'm not talking about Paige, I'm talking PLouise. What I do not understand, and I've never understood this, such as this comment that I'm going to put here. They said, you're jealous, why are you hating on her so much? I don't understand it. I am a makeup user. I love makeup, I love skincare. So I am talking about a product that I think is tacky and cheap. It's an advent calendar that's coming out. I'm talking about her company, her makeup products. And if I am talking about her, I'm talking about how she designs her products. I'm talking about how, she brings her products out, how much she puts her products for. I'm talking about the products. I don't understand why people think when you are talking about the makeup that Paige is the owner of, you're talking about the packaging, how much it cost. How is that hating on Paige? How is that you're jealous? You don't want to see a woman succeed. You're hating on a businesswoman. Where's your Ferrari? Where's your Lamborghini? If I did this and spoke about, let's say, Revolution, if I came on here and said this Revolution palette is cheap and tacky, no one would bat an eyelid. Nobody would be commenting saying you're jealous of Revolution, the owner. You're jealous that Revolution, the person that brought Revolution out, you're jealous because they have a mansion. I just don't understand the mentality behind it. Like, people are so up her that they think whenever you talk about her makeup, not her as a person, her makeup, God, I wonder what would actually happen if you came on here and started discussing actual Paige rather than her makeup. God, it'd be World War III. But yeah, when you're talking about makeup products and your opinion is it's tacky, it's cheap, you don't think it's worth the price, that means you're jealous of Paige. You're jealous of Paige. You don't want her to succeed. I don't know Paige. I'm talking about what she sets her prices at, what I assume they cost to make, how I think they're tacky, how I think they're cheap. There's all over other brands that I think are tacky and cheap. I don't talk about them because they're not really a hot topic at the moment. We're talking about this because of the advent calendar. I have an opinion on the advent calendar and I think it's cheap and tacky. That does not mean that I'm jealous of Paige. That does not mean that I don't want Paige to succeed. That I genuinely don't know what the mindset is behind it. Like, people are acting as if this is their sister or something, and like, I'm talking about their sister's brand. She doesn't know you. She doesn't know you. You tagging her in the videos is not doing anything. You backing her up when it's nothing to do with her. Yes, she owns the brand, but we're talking about her products. We're allowed to do that. When she brings that brand out, she knows that it's open to criticism. Do you know how many brands, before they launch, they go out to the public and they say, what do you think of this packaging? It's called consumer research. It is the most important thing about a brand, is to have opinions. So I really just don't understand why when you talk about her makeup and how you're not really a fan and you don't like it, people automatically say, why are you hating on Paige? What is your problem with Paige? What has she ever done to you? I'm talking about the fucking makeup. I'm confused. That's like this car that I'm in now. If I was like, you know what? I'm not really a fan of this car, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it. I think I'm going to get a new one. Why are you hating on the person that made Audi? Are you jealous because the person that made Audi, they have a mansion? We don't have the same energy. It's only when it's PLouise that people think you're coming for Paige. I don't understand what it is. There's some psychology behind it. Like, it's definitely a cult. People tagging PLouise and Paige in my videos, like, of me talking about a product that I dislike, which I don't think is hate towards a person, but it's just hilarious to me that... like, it's genuinely making me laugh. Like, you guys think she's your friend. You think that you're... you think that you're tagging your friend. You're like, oh my God, Paige, take a look at this. Yeah. Oh my God, Paige, you won't even believe this. Let me... I promise you right now, Paige does not care. She don't care about you. She doesn't give a shit. Why are you tagging her like she's your mate or something? Do you think that she's going to put you on the PR list because you're... because you're actively looking for videos? And there's another one. Right, let me just tag Paige in this. Oh, she's gonna... Oh, when Paige sees this. When Paige sees this. I cannot with you people. Like, it's hilarious. People not liking a product does not mean they are hating on somebody. I am allowed to call a product tacky, cheap, childish. I'm allowed to call a product that because it's a brand. She made that brand. She's open to criticism. When you make a brand, you do consumer research. You go out on the street and you say, what do you think of this packaging? What do you think of this colour? What do you think people would make of this? And they reply, I think it's a bit tacky. I think it's a bit cheap. Can we stop associating the brand products with Paige herself? Nobody's hating on Paige because they don't like fucking bad bitch energy.
It's 100% true, right? Just because somebody doesn't like something, it doesn't mean they're jealous of the creator. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they don't like something. You as a human can't possibly think that just because you like something, everyone else does. Not everyone likes the same music. Not everyone likes the same movies. Not everyone likes the same style of clothing. Not everyone likes the same makeup. It is human nature not to like something. A big part of the beauty industry now on social media is reviewing things and saying, I do or I don't like this. It doesn't mean it's an insult to the brand. And at this point, it's not Paige that's being criticized here, it's you. It's you for jumping in and being like, oh, wait till the... What's it got to do with you and who are you? Paige doesn't know you. It's very, very unusual. I've actually never experienced that with a brand, I don't think. You are not in a close relationship with the owner of this brand. You might idolize them. You might want to replicate their success. But part of that person's success is realizing as a human that human emotion and human preference exist. No one, trust me, is opening a brand, releasing products and thinking everyone is going to like this. They know there's going to be criticism. They know there's going to be something like that. It is human nature. It is just so unusual. It is really unusual behavior. Imagine being like, do you want to go to an Italian restaurant and being like, no, I don't like Italian food. I'm going to go and tell everyone who's Italian you don't like Italian food. They're going to be so upset. It's weird. It is weird. The fact that you feel enough anger to comment on someone's content because somebody doesn't like something that you like is really fucking weird. And then to tag the brand owner like you're in some kind of special friendship is really weird. But also as well, as a brand owner, you shouldn't be condoning that because it gives you a bad name too. You shouldn't be condoning your fans, because they're fans at this point, not just customers, harassing anyone. Yet with PLouise, the brand hasn't said a single thing. This hasn't been the only questionable behavior some of the fans have been up to recently, right? This is where I start to feel sorry for the brand themselves, because these are some of the comments they get from people who follow them. Please put me on PR lists for this and Halloween. Actually, everything you make. I just discovered you 2 days ago and I have never seen such detail to makeup in my life. You guys are next level. How I lived for 47 years with none of your makeup? I hope one day I can afford this for myself. Sad face. If I didn't have to pay bills, I would get one. Sad face, sad face. I would do anything to own one, but I can't afford one. Sad face. In a hospital bed, lying here and wishing, hoping I would ever own one of these. A lot of them are talking about the advent calendar. I'm on benefits. Please give it for free. My kids are depressed. I really want this, but I can't afford £250 for it. Hate buying stuff for myself when I've got kids. I'm a mum now. Can't afford to treat myself. My granddaughter would love this. Her little sister passed away last year. She was only 2 years old. Would love her to have this. She is such a caring wee soul. I would love this for my girls, even if I can't afford it, but I have all I need for Christmas, my family, and food on the table. These aren't the worst of the worst. I did see one, and I will speak to the content creator to see if they would be comfortable with me saying about this. They commented on somebody who was gifted the advent calendar. Their comment on this person's content was, "Please could you send me this for my dead daughter's grave?"
If you are coming across this video, I want you to take a moment to read this comment. Firstly, I want to express my condolences to the person that did leave this comment, and I understand that grief makes people behave in ways that are difficult to explain. However, this comment is genuinely absurd. So much so that for the past 18 hours or so, I've really struggled to understand if this was satire or not. If you take a look at the comments on the video, there is a lot of mockery. Right. I do want to address some of the things that people have said under this comment, because firstly, I run a pretty tight ship here and I will not allow anyone to insult me or make derogatory comments about myself or my character. When you post yourself on social media and you voice your opinion, you are undoubtedly going to be met with a difference in opinion, criticism. However, I refuse to let people call me evil or telling others that I'm a horrible person simply because I didn't respond to a comment with this much weight at 11 PM at night when I'm in bed. Furthermore, I have noticed a shift in the culture around PLouise over the last few years. As the focus of the brand has shifted from makeup artists to kids, every time I post an unboxing video of this brand in particular, I am met with some pretty insane comments. It's usually parents begging me to send them products, or it's parents complaining that they're too expensive and that they can't afford them. And then even going to the lengths of tagging the brand and the brand owner, commenting a sob story for lack of a better word. And I don't know what the aim of that is. I don't know if it's sympathy, if it's attention, if you think you're genuinely going to get put on the PR list. I really don't know. But there's definitely been a shift. And I think ultimately the heart of PLouise and the generosity of the brand has been taken advantage of. Regardless of that, ultimately it is my job to review these products and tell you if I think that they're worth the money or not. Once again, it's all just an opinion. I have no doubt in my mind that the person that commented this has been through the most traumatic thing a parent can experience. However, the things that we do say carry weight and they have impact. And this is genuinely a rather crazy case of trauma dumping and emotional manipulation. I had already agreed prior to this comment coming up that I would give the trucks away from the advent calendar. And how do you expect anyone to explain to a 5-year-old and her mother that they now can't have the advent calendar because I'm a horrible person if I don't give it to someone whose daughter's dead so that she can put it on her grave? It's very difficult for me to come on here and explain things in a way that is respectful, but also sets boundaries. And I will not allow people to make this type of comment on my videos or anyone else's. This is in its purest form manipulation.
So I have seen instances where the PLouise team have given away these calendars because something horrible has happened to someone in their life. Listen, this is a normal thing. I can't afford it, I'm not going to buy it. But I don't know what it is about the PLouise pages where it's kind of made this culture of people asking for free things while talking about their financial situation, their financial burdens, family who are sick, their family who have unfortunately passed away. You do not need an advent calendar because somebody in your family passed away. It's very sad. It's very sad for somebody to have pass away. But it comes to a point where I'm sure somebody on their social media team is going to have to look through all these comments all the time, and it's like, please can I have one? I have no money, I can't afford this, I can't. And again, yes, it's completely normal to not be able to afford this advent calendar because it is excessively expensive. But has this parasocial relationship made them feel like they can go on to, that something is going to happen, that Paige is going to send them one, that the team is going to send them one, that they're able to ask Paige herself for favors? And again, that isn't some of the worst comments. There are some in there which can be very much classed as extreme trauma dumping. There are some horrible, horrible things to read about. Of course, there are some comments where people are like taking the piss out of people. It's not necessarily begging, but it's very subtle, like, I wish somebody would send me one. You can absolutely wish to have one, absolutely. But what is it? I've never seen it on anyone else's content other than PLouise, where it's this, I wish I had it, I wish I had it, I have no money, I have no money. Which even then further goes to show that this isn't an affordable or an accessible brand. We've covered a few things in this, but this kind of like situation where it's a bit bringing up dead people. My daughter's in hospital, my nan's in hospital, my mum's in hospital. Oh, I wish I wasn't on my deathbed. I wish I could have this calendar because I'm dying. And that's not me exaggerating. You go through the comments, there is full on. People have loads of reasons why they wish they had this calendar. And it's always, always super intense. And yes, these things happen in life, but why does that connect to an advent calendar? I'm 46. I had knee surgery last week. I wish I could afford this calendar. Your knee surgery has what? You know, I can't. You know what I'm trying to get at? It's borderline begging subtly. And it's this kind of thing where it's like, this brand is saying they're accessible. This brand is just like you. But how are they just like you if you can't afford something that they consider affordable? Or that they think is like a good price for the tat in the calendar. Obviously, the core of this video isn't to just call out the brand or the people that use the brand. I'm someone that deeply cares about where you spend your money. Even when I was a makeup artist, even when I was working makeup retail, I very often didn't hit my sales targets because I would say to people, you don't need this, you don't need that. Yeah, it's always been a thing for me. And I really don't like it when brands take advantage or steer people in the wrong direction. I care more about my community than working with brands, than being with brands and being on the good side with brands. And that includes making the people who watch me feel safe and the community be a healthy space for everyone. Whether it's making sure that the space is ethical, making sure that everyone has a right to an opinion, because that's what inclusivity is, or just reminding each other to be mindful about our habits. Stuff like this needs to be brought up, because if you are in a comment section of a brand and you feel like it's normal to say something like, this person is dying, please can I have an advent calendar? That's not normal. That is not normal. I would love to know your opinions down below. What do you think? And I just want to say again to any PLouise fan watching this isn't about PLouise here in this video. I'm not talking, well, it kind of is because of a parasocial relationship and the way you make it work. But this is more about the fans of the brand. You need to just call it. Be a fan of the brand. Love the brand all you want. Collect everything. But to go out and attack people for not liking something when it's human nature not to like something, to be in the comments of something desperate for a paper advent calendar with shit in it, to a point where you're borderline trauma dumping to some social media person who has to read through those comments, or where you think it's like normal to discuss your financial situation. It's just really, really strange. And I really don't want that to come across as, oh, poor you can't afford a calendar, because a lot of people can't afford that calendar. I think it's overpriced. I think it's extremely overpriced, but it's what goes along with it. You're not owed anything because you think you have a relationship with someone. It's just a very strange situation. Let me know your opinions down below. Let me know whatever. Yeah, I'll see you very soon. Bye.